So Common Projects Chelsea boots cost over $500. They have a crepe sole, they're made with pretty standard suede, and while they do feature a Goodyear welt, they're nothing special. I really like the style, especially for spring and summer, but I just can't see dropping that kind of money on a trendy boot that still has a crepe sole. Now, if you followed the BootSpy channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm no stranger to boots that are in the $500 plus range, but at that price, I really expect a boot to be special all the way through. I'm talking about the leather, the construction, the style. In this video, I'm going to discuss why I think the Common Projects Chelsea is a ripoff, and I'm going to show you 4 different alternatives that offer way better value for your money. Let's get into it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. The biggest issue I have with spending over $500 on a pair of Common Projects Chelsea boots, honestly, it's the crepe sole. Crepe soles are very comfortable, but they start to look dirty immediately. 20 minutes into your first wear, the grime starts to creep up the heel, and within 1 month, your new boots look like they're 2 years old. I swear, and I've seen it dozens of times. No other type of sole suffers from this. So leather soles, you look at them, they get beat up pretty quickly, right? But it's only in an area where you don't see, like around the edges, the leather's still good. Crepe soles, they just don't hide their age well at all. Now, I'm not here to make a poo-poo video about Common Projects. There are some great things about those boots. They're extremely comfortable, they're stylish, they feature a Goodyear welt, and the stitch is channeled into the sole, so that gives it a little extra durability. They're pretty solid boots, honestly. But suede leather is typically not as high quality as other full grain leathers, and it's not like the Common Projects is a whole cut Chelsea either, or anything like that. It's just a basic Goodyear welted boot, and it has a crepe sole that looks pretty raggedy after a month or two. So there's not really much you can do to clean that sole once it's dirty, and yeah, that's a big issue. One of the main comments I see in other videos and forums about the Common Projects Chelsea is that people often wait until they're on sale for like $300 or $250 or whatever. But to me, there are better options that are, when they're full priced, cost that amount. And then there's some that you can even get that are cheaper than that are just way better. The first of those alternatives is the New Republic Sonoma. Rather than get the Common Projects Chelsea boot, I think the New Republic Sonoma is a much better option. Now, these boots cost less than $100, and the style is nearly identical to Common Projects. I'm not going to pretend like the New Republic Sonoma is a fantastic boot. It definitely has its shortcomings. The sole is cemented on, and the crepe rubber is looser than on the Common Projects Chelsea, so it's going to wear down a good deal faster. I picked up my New Republic Sonomas in their most popular color. This is the tan, and I really like the light sandy suede color. It's an amazing leather option for spring, summer, any sort of warm weather looks. This always looks good. This tan Sonoma pairs well with light wash slim fit jeans and also works as a counterpoint if you're wearing like crisp indigo blue denim. However, because the crepe sole soaks up dirt like a sponge, these boots lose their clean, classy look pretty quickly. Like I said, 2-3 weeks is where they start to get a bit gray. So that's when they turn definitely into very, very casual boots. It takes about 4 or 5 wears for that sole to really pick up that dirt. When it comes to the leather, the suede on the Sonoma is decent. It comes from a genuine leather hide, which is generally considered to be lower quality leather. However, that's not much of a surprise considering that this boot right now at least costs $89. When I compare the quality of this leather to other boots at a similar price, the New Republic Sonoma is far better. I was surprised to learn that the genuine split leather lining runs throughout the entire boot, and that's very uncommon for a boot under $100. Usually there's some sort of cotton fabric around the toe, and that can wear out and cause a bunch of durability issues, especially in the vamp, and make this look all floppy and nasty, and that is not what you want. Now, genuine split leather is pretty poor quality, but the addition of some sort of natural lining in there, it helps boost the durability of the suede tremendously, so that is actually a good thing. Considering the price, the amount of leather on the Sonoma is very impressive to me. Quality isn't outstanding for the upper of the lining, but it's still better than any other sub $100 boot I've ever seen. Because the tan suede is so light and has a relatively thick nap, I'd baby these boots. They're definitely going to pick up water or dirt stains if they're exposed to any sort of moisture, so definitely only wear these out on clear days. To be fully honest with you, it's difficult to recommend any boot under $100 because I think making a good quality pair of boots, it just costs more than that. But I gotta say, with the full leather lining of the New Republic Sonoma, they're definitely the best boots I've ever seen under $100. And because the Sonoma looks basically identical to the Common Projects Chelsea, and because I just don't think this crepe sole is worth it on any boot over $200 because they get so dirty looking so quickly, to me the New Republic Sonoma is vastly superior to the Common Projects Chelsea. To be clear, the quality of New Republic, it's much lower, but I think the Common Projects is so overpriced that the New Republic is far better value for money. But there's a whole other world of boots out there, and there are a few other alternatives to Common Projects Chelsea boots that I think are worth searching for if you want that sleek, sandy suede look, and they're as durable as they are stylish. When looking at alternatives to the Common Projects Chelsea and the New Republic Sonoma, I honestly would skip the crepe sole altogether. Crepe rubber, it's very comfortable, but it looks nasty after a month or so, and it's not very durable. Instead, I look for a boot with either a leather sole or a rubber studded sole. To me, the sweet spot of style and durability for this type of boot would be the Thursday Cavalier. Now, my Cavaliers here, they're in the shadow gray suede, but you can pick them up in the sandstone suede, which has that sort of light, texture, light color that the Common Projects Chelsea boot has. The Cavalier is twice the cost of the new Republic Sonoma, but I think it's absolutely worth the extra money. It features a Goodyear welt and has a leather sole with rubber studs for traction. And like I said earlier, it's like, the leather gets beat up a little bit, but you'd never tell from the outside, unlike crepe. With a leather stacked heel and a steel shank right there, you get much more support in your boots. Plus the leather is higher quality throughout, and that actually includes the lining as well. Now, if you really want to get an upgrade going, then in that case, I recommend the Grant Stone Chelsea boot, which has a full grain vegetable tanned leather all the way through the insole, all the way through the midsole, has a 360-degree welt, and that has incredible stitching density as well. There is a light tan suede version of this. This is the Waxy Commander, and this has the lug sole, but you can also find the light tan suede has the rubber studded sole, which is a little bit more sleek. One thing to note about the Grant Stone Chelsea, it's wider and has more room in the toes, so it's not quite as slim and stylish as the Common Projects or the New Republic or even the Thursday, but it scores full marks in terms of durability and longevity. I think it's a more mature looking boot, definitely less trendy. It's around $300, so it is definitely a step up in price from the Thursday Cavalier, but to me, the quality definitely justifies the cost. Finally, if you're just like absolutely determined to spend $500, then in that case, I recommend the R.M. Williams Comfort Craftsman in their suede. I don't think the R.M. Williams Comfort Craftsman is necessarily better in quality than the Grant Stone. If anything, Grant Stone is higher quality construction and materials, but I will say that the R.M. Williams is a more stylish and comfortable boot. It's slimmer, it balances trendy with sophisticated, and I'd much rather walk 10 miles in this boot than pretty much any other boot. Make sure you check out my favorite Chelsea boots in the video popping up here. Plus, if you want to scope out my Thursday Cavalier review and my Grant Stone Chelsea review, if any of those boots seem interesting to you, I got those reviews coming up right around here. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And until next time, put your best boot forward.